Let's talk about the volcano effect. This is something that comes up quite a bit with the moms that I work with. And volcano effect is this. If I say, "How are you coping?" or "How are you dealing with things right now?" moms will often say, "I'm doing pretty good." And then when we start talking about it, they are doing really well. However, there's something going on called volcano effect. What's happening is they're keeping it together, they're keeping it together, they're keeping it together, and then boom, everything explodes. It's like a volcano where that pressure is building. It's like, yeah, I have it together. I have it together. And then that internal dialogue, those internal emotions just explode everywhere. Now, the reason that this happens is because they are great parents. They're thinking, I just need to keep my thoughts to myself, keep my emotions to myself, just, not bother my daughter or my son, just let them be. But there's something that's kind of nagging inside them, right? So maybe their kids aren't doing their homework, aren't doing the chores. And they're like, I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything. And then eventually something has to get done. So there's this really extreme, right, where I'm not going to do anything. But there's usually an internal dialogue that's going on, a suppression, if you will. Like, don't say anything, don't do anything. But our emotions and our energy, which are intertwined, right? They have to go somewhere. Just like a volcano, that lava has to go somewhere. So instead of just pushing it down, not saying anything, ignoring everything that's going on internally, you have a few options. One is to say something to your child, to still interact with them, but just be mindful of what you're saying, how you're saying it. So if it's about chores, I know a lot of parents say, I don't want to keep nagging all the time. So you come up with a system so that it's not just suppress or explode. There's more options in between, right? So, this whole volcano effect comes from this idea of the window of tolerance. And the window of tolerance is when we're in a calm mood, a calm state, a confident state as a parent. We can deal with all of these stressors that are coming our way. Our kid says something that they're back talking to us, we calmly redirect them. If our kids aren't doing their chores, we calmly and confidently get them to do their chores. But when we are outside the window of tolerance, that calmness and connection and confidence, forget it. We're in the flight or fight mode. So we have to be mindful of staying within our window of tolerance. But what that means is forget this idea of we say nothing or we explode. We have to have all of the things in between. The way that we connect with them, the way that we speak with them, the systems we have in place as our parenting techniques, all of that has to be in play for us to be within our window of tolerance. Now, the other thing that highly affects our window of tolerance is our self-care. You know that comes up all the time, right? Because if you are super stressed out, your window of tolerance is actually about this small because everything is going to set you off if you are so stressed out. Your body is ready for that fight or ready for that flight. You know the days where you just want to crawl into bed, shut your door, lock it, and not talk to anyone? We all have those days. But if you're finding those more and more, or if you're finding those days where you're just a volcano, there has to be something done in between so that you can widen your window of tolerance and be the parent that you want to be. Now, for this, I want to give you this challenge. I want you to stop and reflect about when your window of tolerance is really small, when you're stressed out. How do you deal with the situations around you? So I'm going to give you a worksheet and I'm going to give you some options of how you react. And I'm saying react, not respond. So react, remember, is when it's more about emotions and just kind of not thinking through the action you're going to take. So I want you to think about that and consider that, because when you're aware of your volcanic reactions, what creates those and how you react, then you have the power of choice. So that's what I'm giving you when I'm giving you these reflection questions. It's the power of awareness and the power of choice. So moms, don't be that volcano. We're looking for the calm, placid lake. You got this.